hoping to turn around an angry Mamata Banerjee. The Bengal Chief Minister on her part attacked the Congress again today. All of the missives being sent by the Congress clearly don't seem to be having any impact. So despite what top leadership may say about their camaraderie and relationship, this is hardly painting a picture of allyship for the India bloc parties. Remember, Samajwadi Party has released its own list in UP even as Congress maintains negotiations were still on. Clearly, nobody is on the same page and regional partners are sending a message that it will not go as Congress pleases. Has it come down to such an extent where allies are actually adversaries now? And with what face will such parties ask for a joint vote against the BJP in the Lok Sabha polls? We take that question to our guests in just a bit. First up, I want to break down how there's an open war continuing between the TMC and the Congress party in the state of West Bengal. So, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary today claimed that Rahul Gandhi's vehicle has been attacked. It was re-entering West Bengal from Bihar. His car's windshield was broken near Malda. The Congress chief said this was due to alleged stone pelting, only for the Congress to clarify that the glass broke due to some emergency brakes being applied. This has prompted the TMC to accuse Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary of peddling fake news against the state. Now, Rahul Gandhi, remember, during his Bengal leg of the yatra had said that Congress's ties with Mamata Banerjee are good and arguments do not disrupt the larger agenda of the alliance. Today, though, Mamata Banerjee, who was in Malda, blamed the Congress for not doing anything for the region despite having 2 seats there. Days after Mamata announced that she would go solo in Bengal and snap ties, Jairam Ramesh today expressed hope that the India partners will still fight together in the state. But Mamata Banerjee has continued to be unsparing in her attack on the Congress-CPM combined. Today she said that these two parties coming together and staying together is basically clearing the ground for the BJP. It's not just Bengal, other allies too seem to be impatient with Congress's delay tactics as they are suggesting on seat sharing and a little bit more. Some would say big brother attitude, but essentially it is delay in seat sharing. Other parties want to get on with it, but Congress is somehow delaying it. So Samajwadi Party has released their own first list of candidates. This list includes candidates for 16 Lok Sabha seats coming up. 3 members of the Yadav Parivar also find place in the first list, and of course a lot of those connected with the family. But curiously, this list has been put out even as negotiations are continuing with the Congress party. And remember, the Samajwadi Party had earlier also unilaterally announced that it is sparing only 11 seats for the Congress party. Now, Congress is quite upset but is unable to make a scene against its own ally. They had hoped to get at least 3 to 5 seats in the first list of the SP. From former allies to former partners, Rahul Gandhi and the Congress seem to be on a bit of a back foot on multiple fronts because Nitish Kumar, who recently jumped the ship and dumped the India bloc to rejoin NDA, fired a sharp response to Rahul Gandhi's remarks on Bihar caste survey. Yesterday, Rahul, while addressing a rally in Bihar's Purnia, had claimed that it was the Congress that had pressured Nitish and RJD for a caste survey. In response, Nitish Kumar has come out today simply just to say that if some people are trying to take fake credit, let it be. Rahul had gone on to say that the bloc does not need Nitish Kumar to ensure social justice in the state. The Bihar Chief Minister reminded Congress that it was he who conducted a caste survey with 9 other parties. Rahul Gandhi had claimed that Nitish wanted a way out of conducting the caste census, and perhaps the BJP has given him a way out of that, and that is why he has jumped on that opportunity. Nitish once again reminded Congress that it was he who had met Prime Minister in 2020 to raise the demand for a caste survey. So he has been steadfast with this issue. The simple question we asked today is just this. Barely a month or so before the next elections could get announced, has the India bloc been derailed to the extent that allies are now adversaries?
এবং বিজেপির সাথে আমাদের যে লড়াই চলবে আমরা একাই লড়বো बीजेपी के কেউ যদি ভারতবর্ষ পরাস্ত করতে পারে।
बेहतर होगा कि सब एक ही आवाज में बोले, एक तरफा नहीं हो सकता, एक तरफा घोषणा नहीं हो सकता।
हमने सबको बुलाया तो हमने किया है जी। आज जितना काम किए, जितनी बहाली किए हैं, और उसी के चलते कर रहे थे, कोई अपना क्लेम करता है।
Let's go across to the guest joining us. Meeta Chakrabarti is spokesperson of the Congress Party. Tawseefur Rahman from the TMC. Pradeep Bhati is joining us from the Samajwadi Party. I'm also joined with Tushar Gupta, journalist and political analyst with us. Meeta, let me begin with you first up. The Congress seems to be a little confused whether it wants to blame the TMC or not. But I'll leave that aside. Given what has happened, the TMC has accused that the Congress's state chief, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, has got some sort of a contract to defame Bengal. We know there's no love lost as far as Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the state unit of the Congress and the TMC is concerned. But what is the message that this is sending out? Regardless of what Jairam Ramesh, Rahul Gandhi, Mamata Banerjee may say, this is not how friends behave.
Good evening to all your viewers and good evening to all the fellow co-panelists as well. Now, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, our PCC president in West Bengal, his stand about TMC or his opinion of Mamata Banerjee has been consistent and has been the same over the past 10 years. It's not something that has happened overnight. Yes, for the national context, for the larger picture, to safeguard the constitution of the country and the secular fabric of the nation, and for a common minimum program, we decided to come together and form the India Alliance bloc. And that has been there and the discussions are ongoing. However, to say that Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is saying something that he hasn't said before is completely factually incorrect. Bear in mind that even in 2021, Congress and left parties have fought against the TMC. Even in 2019, in the last Lok Sabha election, that has been the case. After 2011 election, TMC and Congress had not been in an alliance in West Bengal. Yes, right now, because of a national picture for the larger good, there are discussions about there are discussions ongoing about a seat sharing arrangement and about either a pre-poll arrangement or a post-poll arrangement in the state of West Bengal. But to say
no, you're right.
People are surprised by Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary.
I'm not saying at all that anybody should be surprised by what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is saying. I said that we know there is no love lost between your state unit and the TMC in Bengal. The problem that the TMC is raising, though, is that once you decided to come together with us, as we're sitting down on the same table, why is your leadership continuing to attack us? To the extent that today, initially the Congress seemed to blame the TMC for the stone pelting, alleged stone pelting on Rahul Gandhi's convoy.
Law happens to be a state subject. Law and order, the state administration is responsible. Rahul Gandhi ji is one of the tallest leaders of the Congress party and one of the tallest and most respected leaders nationally. He has come to the state of West Bengal for his Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra. He is traveling across 15 states, across 6,713 kilometers, 110 districts, seeking justice. So in this yatra, if there is any disruption or any problem, then obviously we will seek help and support from the local administration. There's nothing surprising about it.
Okay, nothing surprising should not be taken as some sort of an adversarial attitude. I have to bring in Tawseefur Rahman here. What's really happening? And Tawseef, like I said to the Congress spokesperson, your leaders may have camaraderie and respect for each other, but for the average public, this is not two allies. There is no such thing as, you know, fighting at the state level and somehow allies at the national level before elections have taken place and before you send out a message to the larger country that we are all together. At least the parties have to accept today, whatever their differences may be, but that larger message is in tatters. Who's going to believe that TMC or Congress are on the same page?
Shivani, first thing first. Good evening to everyone. First thing first, the Congress and your viewers should know one thing, that the multiple spokespersons from his own party have refuted all the allegations of Rahul Gandhi being attacked in Bengal. It was attack in Katihar. First thing, we have to deny that the attack didn't happen in Bengal at all. Now, of course, I was hearing Meeta ji. She was saying that this is nothing new where Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary continuously attacking Trinamool Congress, Mamata Bandyopadhyay, Abhishek Bandyopadhyay. It's not been 2 years, 3 years. Of course, he's attacking Bengal government from last 10 years. But at the same time, when you hear Kharge's word, when you hear Rahul ji's word, Kharge ji's word, Sonia Gandhi ji's word, Jairam Ramesh ji's word, it is totally different. So I don't understand whether the central Congress and the Bengal unit Congress is working together or not.
That's the question I'm asking. If you are not understanding this, then how will the public?
Shivani, is Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary working for Bhajpa in Bengal? We have to be very clear,
No,
because all these whiles, even with you also, I had a talk when you told me, Tausif, how this alliance going to work where Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary wants emergency in Bengal.
Yes.
I gave you a rebuttal that yes, we must have local issues in Bengal, but we have to keep this aside because it's about a national issue. We have to fight against the undemocratic things happening in India. But again, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary doesn't seem to stop anywhere. He wants emergency in Bengal. He says TMC chor hai. He says Mamata Banerjee apna chalati hai. So this is what we want to know. It's been 180 days or 200
Meeta
days.
wants to come in.
We have
Yes.
been waiting for Congress for the strategies. Where are the strategies? What about seat sharing? What about tickets? There is nothing discussed. I congratulate Rahul Gandhi for such a successful yatra. But again, sir, you have to understand, we have some kind of portion in national politics. We are not Tom, Dick and Harry. TMC have some portions in Rajya Sabha and Member of Parliament as well.
Okay, let Meeta come in. Meeta wants to respond. What is going on? This is becoming really
all
awkward
the
and
things-
bizarre.
Of all the things that Congress party has been accused of in different platforms, I don't think in any platform we have ever been accused of being BJP's B team. If there's one political organization that is fighting against the fascist, divisive, hate politics of BJP in every single state, in every single corner of
Neetaji,
India,
you
make
need
no
to talk with
mistake,
Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary.
Indian National Congress is the organization. Sir, please do not interrupt me. I did not interrupt you.
No, you need to talk with Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary.
So
Your
we are
statement is not
fighting
countable
against
until unless you
BJP's.
don't
Can
explain
you
what Adhir Ranjan
please?
Chaudhary
Can you
wants.
please not interrupt me? Please wait for your
No,
turn,
because
sir.
if you are saying something, it should be
Okay, आप बोल
counted.
लीजिए.
It should be accountable. Adhir Ranjan
Of course,
Chaudhary
it
is
is
the biggest
accountable.
problem
If
in
there is one
Congress.
political
It's not, we don't,
organization
Adhir
that
Ranjan
is
Chaudhary is not a
fighting the
problem for
communal
Trinamool
divisive
Congress.
politics of
Adhir Ranjan
BJP in
Chaudhary has
every
become
corner
lunatic.
of India, then
He's
that
talking
organization is
nonsense
Indian
with the
National
team he
Congress.
wants alliance to.
We are by
Neetaji.
no way linked to the BJP, not in the state of West Bengal, not in
But
any
what he
state
wants
of
then?
India.
If
So
Rahul
make no
ji,
mistake.
Kharge ji
The
wants an
reason
alliance
why
with
we
Trinamool
chose
Congress,
to come on the
what
same
kind of alliance
platform,
does he seek
this is
so?
no way to do a debate. I would request the anchor to please interject.
Meeta,
Neetaji,
one second.
I want to know what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary wants.
Okay, one second. You made that.
Okay,
you made
okay,
that
so
point.
if you
Tausif, you
allow me
asked
to
that
speak,
question.
maybe I'll
Let her
explain.
respond. But Meetaji, in 30 seconds, this is a question.
Yes.
I mean, whatever your internal differences are, there would be internal differences, party matters, inter-party matters. It wouldn't be anybody's concern. The only reason this is being discussed in the media and being debated is because you simultaneously also make a claim that somehow we are together nationally.
And Shivani, I'll give you a very important
Okay,
message from
can
Very
I-
quickly.
if
Tausif,
you-
very quickly, then
Yes.
Meeta ji responds. Yes.
So from the very
After the Lok
beginning,
Sabha polls.
President,
Shivani, listen to
gentlemen,
me.
please
Again,
can
it's
you
a
give me
national
my
news.
turn? Can you
After
please
the
wait
Lok
for your
Sabha
turn?
polls,
This is no way
if
to have conduct
INC
a debate.
1 second. Meeta ji, I'm coming to you. Tausif, finish 10
Meeta
seconds.
ji, please, I'm really sorry. Listen to me. After the Lok Sabha polls, if the INC does their job and defeats the BJP in those 300 seats, we will very much be a part of the front
But that's
that fights to
convenient.
preserve the democracy and the constitution of India.
But that's very
I mean,
convenient.
Again, we are there.
You
We are
have to
there.
put your
But
money
what
where
about
your
Adhir
mouth
Ranjan
is.
Chaudhary?
Show the faith before the results come out. After results, everybody can decide. That's not being a
Sir,
friend.
sir,
Anyways,
we
let
know
Meeta ji
all
respond.
this.
Tausif,
We
let
know the
Meeta respond.
challenges and
Tausif,
make no
please
mistake,
yield
we are
now.
working on it.
Meeta.
Okay. So first of all, I don't think Congress has ever been accused of being BJP's B team. in the history of Indian National Congress. It has never happened. So we are not BJP's B team. We do not have any kind of understanding in the state of West Bengal. Let
Right.
me make it very clear. Number two, in the national context, to fight against the fascist rule of the BJP central government, against their communal divisive politics, we have come together. We have got a common minimum program, a common vision that we are bringing
What
to
is
the
the
table.
common minimum program?
And
Once
that
again,
we are bringing, we are talking
where
about
is this common minimum
joblessness.
program? Meetaji, nobody's seen the common minimum program.
I will tell you, I'll tell you what our main issues are. We are talking about the high rate of unemployment. We are talking about price rise. We are talking about the institutes being jeopardized and being monopolized by the BJP central
And you
government.
are calling Derek
We are
O'Brien as a
talking
foreigner.
about political inequality. These are the main issues that
I
we are
get that,
focusing
ma'am,
on.
but there is no common minimum
And these are
program
the reasons
published
why we
and
have got
publicized to
together.
the public.
And along with TMC, since you have been asking about TMC, we are still in discussion with TMC. Very soon, we will come to a
How
conclusion.
Neetaji
Okay.
calling Derek
And
O'Brien
as
as
our
a
AICC
foreigner?
president made it very clear,
Well, no,
right
Adhir
from
Ranjan
the
Chaudhary
beginning, that
apologized
there
for
will be
that
states
remark.
where we
Taseed,
will
let
have
bygones be
pre-poll
bygones.
and states where we will have post-poll alliances.
Okay, 1 second. You say you're still in negotiations. That is my absolute perfect segue to go to Pradeep Bhati of the Samajwadi Party. Still in negotiations with Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh, but Samajwadi Party has already released their list of 16 candidates. Pradeep Bhati, are you also, is it fair to say the Samajwadi Party is also now impatient? They're no longer going to just keep waiting for the Congress Party? Because they say you shouldn't have done this in hush-hush tones. You shouldn't have gone ahead and released this list when officially you are still in negotiations with them.
Thanks, Shivani, and good evening to all. Look, Shivani, many hands make light work. It's not an Herculean task to beat BJP. In our India alliance, all parties have a substantial vote bank and they are all working, they are very strong in their own states. So we are working with Congress. The alliance is very much alive. We are all together going to fight BJP. And regarding the seat sharing, that is again the next step that going to happen. So because the time is running fast and we all are working towards to achieve our goal in the limited time we have. See, I'll say one thing that for BJP side, these people are trying hard to do whatever they can do to divide this alliance and to distract us from all the issues that is more important for the people of this country.
1 second, how is the BJP dividing the allies? 1 second. Pradeep Bhati, how is the BJP dividing the allies?
See, that what has happened in Bihar also, this is one example. They have already divided the Shiv Sena. They have done the same thing with NCP. So the BJP is good in that. But I'll say that the वक्त बहुत नाजुक है, हम पर हमले दर हमले हैं और दुश्मन का दर्द यही हम हर हमले पे संभले हैं. So the people of this country are getting united and they are forming their alliance. It's not the parties they are forming the alliance. The people of this country
Mr.
who are
Bhati, क्या ये
suffering
कहना
from the
सही
high
होगा?
price rise.
नहीं, क्या ये
Let
कहना
me
सही
complete,
होगा?
Shivani.
नहीं, 1 second, क्या ये कहना सही होगा कि आपने जो एक तरफा लिस्ट रिलीज कर दिया वो गलत था?
See, we have not somewhere we have not closed that list. Our honorable Adhyaksh Akhilesh Yadav ji has already said that if there is they are candidates that BJP thinks that they can win the election, or there is a combination that fits for that particular candidate that Congress can win and fight that election, we are very much open for that. So nothing is getting close. But at the same time, we have to see that the time is limited, so we have to work. All the candidates have to work and have to again go to the people of this of their constituencies. So definitely we'll have that limited time. We'll work on that. But the important point what I was making, because we are all talking about India alliance. What about the N.D.A alliance? There is one person, Sappe Bhari, but still there is a total silence about with 38 alliances, but total silence about their sheet sharing and the other, whether it's a common minimum program or they are nobody is talking about that alliance.
Okay.
But
Because I think
that's
the contours
very good
of the
that,
alliance, the
people of
contours.
this country are more relying on the
No, fair enough. The contours of those
People
two
of this country are
alliances
more
are very
aligned,
different. In the NDA, the BJP is the clear, big party. In the India alliance, there are many competing interests. In NDA, there is no confusion about who's the leading party plus who's the leader. In the India alliance, there are many firsts amongst equals, if I can say so. So that is why it has special interest versus what the NDA may be doing. But you're right, the NDA, you could argue that the NDA also has an announced seat sharing in states where they have allies and hasn't really done that spade work quite like the India alliance. Tushar Gupta, the larger question that arises is this: the messaging that we are going to fight tooth and nail in states, but we are somehow together at the national level. How does that message work?
Though that message comes across as bizarre, Shivani. Just when the first two panelists were speaking, it appeared to me for a moment that we were in a family court, settling dispute between two dysfunctional family members. I mean, Congress, look at their position. They are embarrassing their state's biggest leader, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Adhir Ranjan makes one claim about the alleged attack on the car. The Congress makes another statement, very well knowing that it would embarrass his position in the state against Mamata Banerjee. Yet they go ahead and do that. The Congress spokesperson just did that. TMC, I mean, in all fairness to them, they've been asking the right questions. That it's been 4 months. What about the seat sharing? How can your leader in the state call one of our leaders as foreigner or make such claims about violence and then expect the coalition to happen? Look, the public is not stupid. The alliance members may feel that they can take the public for a ride, but the public sees it very clearly. You cannot have a cadre not working together at the state level, but suddenly when the Lok Sabha elections arrive, they're working together.
No,
And
but Tushar, could it be that in any case, TMC has nothing to do with rest, seats outside of Bengal? They're more majorly focused in Bengal. It's not like their cadre is going to be very effective outside of Bengal or they have a role to play. So in any case, whatever was to happen is the impact between TMC and Congress is in Bengal. I think the left factor is very key here, and somehow that's getting ignored in the very public spat between Congress and TMC, but the left is a big issue in Bengal as well. But if I leave that aside for a moment, could it be that yes, you fight for your seats in states, but nationally there's no fight between Congress and TMC, so it doesn't impact them. Their leaders can still be on the same stage.
But Shivani, here's the thing. Why would the leaders be on the same stage? Unlike Mamata Banerjee, Akhilesh Yadav or Lalu Prasad Yadav, what does Rahul Gandhi have? Can Rahul Gandhi walk into any constituency today and win? No, he cannot, because he's not going back to Amethi. In fact, we are hearing rumors that Sonia Gandhi may not go back to Raebareli. Can Rahul Gandhi win one state at his own, at his own talent? No, he cannot. But Mamata Banerjee, Akhilesh Yadav and Lalu Prasad Yadav can do that. Can Rahul Gandhi work with one state partner together, form a coalition? No, he cannot. All the coalitions that are working for the Congress today are the legacy coalitions. That is why they do not have a problem with the DMK, but they're having a problem with the Aam Aadmi Party. So the alliance partners are asking this very fundamental question, that what does Rahul Gandhi bring to the table? He brings absolutely nothing.
Let me give 30 seconds.
Just pointed out. Shivani, 1 second. The TMC spokesperson just pointed out that if the Congress can win in those 300 seats against
then
the BJP, they might be interested. Yes, but that's a fair point.
And Shivani, I mean, the matter is different. I'll tell you.
Let me complete.
Yeah.
If the Congress cannot win on the seats that it traditionally won, why is it hoping for any alliance with the alliance partners? Why would regional parties give up their
I get your point, but I'm saying
Rahul
that
Gandhi?
Can this be a new mix where you are still competitive at the state level, but at the national level your leadership can be turned? You're saying it cannot be.
Shivani, if it had to work, it would have worked in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan in December.
I have 30 seconds.
Test. It did not work.
I have actually 20 seconds. Mitaji, I'll just give you 20 seconds because most questions are coming to Congress. Are you being too late in deciding things? 20 seconds, ma'am.
I don't think so. This kind of discussion, they do take time. And as our AICC president has made it amply clear, that we will do a state-by-state strategy. There will be states, like for example in Kerala, where we will have a post-poll arrangement.
No, only here.
Post-poll arrangement, And then there will be states, in most of the states, we'll have a pre-poll alliance.
I get
where
that,
we will
ma'am. The
have a
question is
1:1
timing.
contest.
Yeah, and your opponents, your
Very
ally
soon,
partners are getting
you
very
will have the
nervous about
final results.
how much time is
very
going.
soon, you will have the final
Okay,
results.
very
just because
soon, final seat sharing.
Very
I have
soon, the
run out
final
of time.
conclusions will be highlighted.
I do thank all of our guests for joining us for our first debate. Coming up on the other side, it's a big win for Hindu side in the Kashi Vishwanath Gyanvapi mosque case. Vyas Tehkhana will be opened up for prayers a week after ASI findings were also made public, with the temple existing before conclusion. Will the Kashi truth be finally accepted? We've got special guests joining us in just a bit.
Co-powered by
ನಮಗೆ ಯಾತ್ರೆ ಪವಿತ್ರ ಮಾಟ ಆದ್ರೆ ಜನತಾ ವೆಕ್ಕ ಅದೇ
because the government is not concerned about the sufferings of the people. People are unable to have their meals. They have no money to pay the electricity bills. They have no money to buy the necessary equipment for their children to go to school. So the whole country is suffering. But government seems to not understand the real situation in the country. So we expect the people to rise. The next election, the election year has already come. Next year, this year, people must think differently and take the correct decisions.
No, we are holding this demonstration because there's a government that are bankrupted the country. They have no solutions. They are like leeches holding on to power. We ask them to immediately go for an election and let the people decide who should rule the country in the next 5 years.
Welcome back. There's been a massive victory accorded to the Hindu side in one of the cases pertaining to Kashi Gyanvapi Mosque. A Varanasi district court today allowed the Hindu side to offer prayers in southern cellar of the Gyanvapi Mosque. The court directed the receiver to make arrangements for puja to be performed by the Hindu side and a pujari nominated by Sri Kashi Vishwanath Temple Trust. Now, worship is expected to start anytime within 7 days. Anjuman Intezamia Masjid Committee's counsel, Akhlaq Ahmed, has said that they would be challenging the order in a higher court. The court had fixed February 8 as date of hearing on an application by the mosque committee saying that this plea should be dismissed. Now, the district court's order also comes a day after 4 Hindu women had moved the Supreme Court seeking excavation and scientific survey of the sealed sections of the mosque. This after the ASI report concluded that a large Hindu temple existed before the construction of the present structure. So why is the Hindu side feeling triumphant, vindicated today, and why is this important in the larger scheme of things? That's because of the history of this tehkhana. Now this tehkhana, the one that has been allowed prayers in today, belongs to the Vyas family connected to Kashi Vishwanath for a very long time. The tehkhana is in the southern part of the mosque and is located in front of the Nandi that is still present in the Kashi Vishwanath complex today. Hindu worship was on in this tehkhana till December 5, 1992. But post the Babri incident in Uttar Pradesh, worship was arbitrarily stopped even at this site. This is something that can be called clear injustice to the Hindu prayers. Now, the Kashi Mandir Gyanvapi Mosque case is picking up steam, and how? And with this verdict today, subject to appeals, the focus will once again shift to the larger title or reclamation case and the ASI report made public last week. The report has, for some, confirmed what we already knew and has been historically established, but for some, it is not reliable. Some rather caustic remarks have been made against the ASI survey report, which concluded that a Hindu temple existed underneath the present-day structure, which was only built in the 17th century, reusing some materials of the old temple. While some have questioned the ASI's credibility, others have called the report inconclusive. It is rather shocking that non-experts are jumping in to deny the existence of the Hindu temple under current Gyanvapi Mosque, because even the staunchest of leftist historians and Aurangzeb biographers actually don't deny that a temple was destroyed by Aurangzeb. So it is very likely that no proof will be enough and everything will be politicized as this case goes on. Still, here's a reminder of the main points of the ASI report. 1. Sculptural remains indicate that a temple indeed existed and it was destroyed because of other historical examples available in the 17th century. Inscriptions in Devanagari, Grantha, Telugu and Kannada have been found. Names of deities like Janardhan, Rudra have been found inscribed. Idols of Hindu deities have now been found under the dumped soil. Parts of pre-existing temple were reused for expansion of the present-day mosque, and the pre-existing structure was probably destroyed in the 17th century. These are the conclusions of the ASI report. And joining me now for a very special conversation on this entire Kashi matter, the refusal to accept the truth, are 2 men related to Kashi. One, of course, is Vishnu Shankar Jain, and other is historian and author Vikram Sampat. It's been a big day as far as the fight largely connected to Kashi Vishwanath is concerned. I do congratulate Vishnu Jain joining us. Also Vikram Sampan, many thanks for your time. Vishnu, I want to begin with you. Looking forward, a lot is going to be talked about the ASI report. Now, you must have seen responses from the Muslim side. They say report is not proof or evidence. As the lawyer in this case, the petitioner in this case, I want to ask you, how much are you going to rely on this? How much is this report going to increase or improve the case that you've been fighting?
No, this has a evidentiary value in terms of provisions contained in Order 26 Rule 10A. Under Order 26 Rule 10A, when a report is filed, then it has the same value and it becomes the record of the court. After hearing objections from both the sides, then it becomes the record of the court. Let me tell you that in Ram Mandir case, the ASI survey formed part of the record of the court and it has the same evidentiary value as any other evidence which has been filed in the court of law as part of the record of the case. So it has evidentiary value, and by virtue of section 45 of Indian Evidence Act, it has the evidentiary value as an expert opinion. For example, to explain my thing in a simple term, in a criminal trial, the post-mortem report, the handwriting expert report, has an evidentiary value of an expert opinion. In the same way, in Gyanvapi case, the Archaeological Survey of India report will have the same evidentiary value as an expert opinion.
Yeah, but I want to understand from you, how much are you going to rely on this ASI report alone, or is this one of the things that you will use moving forward in this case?
No, definitely we have lot of chain of evidences. There are various travel accounts. There are various historical books which has evidentiary value under section 57 of the Indian Evidence Act. There will be documentary evidence of this case. There will be oral evidence of this case. So this will be one of the piece of evidence, not the only piece of evidence. And we will definitely rely upon it heavily. But it is corroborating with the various historical events which has happened in the site in question in past 400 years.
Well, speaking of history, I want to bring in Vikram Sampat also. There is an insistence, Vikram, to not trust or accept the ASI report. What do you make of that? The collective response, not just the masjid side, but Muslim clerics, leaders, who seem to suggest that this ASI report should not be relied upon.
Then what else are you going to rely upon? You're not going to rely on scriptural evidence. You're not going to rely on historical evidence. You're not going to rely on, travelers' accounts that have existed, right from the 7th century with Hyun Sang coming to the place. You're not going to rely on a modern, scientific report, which has done such extensive survey, through various techniques that I said, visual as well as X-ray, isotope dating, everything has been done, documented and dusted. Now, after that too, if you deny, then, there is nothing in the world, even God himself or Aurangzeb himself needs to be brought out of his tomb and probably made to tell you that, yes, I did demolish this place. So I think this obduracy, I think is not good, especially in the case of Ayodhya, people kept saying, where's the evidence?
Yes.
Where is the evidence? And so on. Here we are inundating you with evidence. There are reports and reports running to thousands of pages. So even now, if you say the evidence is not good enough, I think it's almost like, our neighboring country doubting the dossiers that we kept sending, in the wake of 2611. I think somewhere this should stop. We should have faith in someone. This is not a government directed or an RSS or Hindutva directed, survey. It was a court monitored, court ordered, ASI report, and ASI is a, internationally renowned organization, the Archaeological Survey of India. So we have to, rely on the expertise of the team, which is a very eclectic team. If you look at it, there are members from the minority community also included in the drafting of this report. So I think at some point, people should learn to accept the truth, however hard and, uncomfortable it might be for them.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's happening. I just want to read out some responses from the masjid side. The Anjuman Intezamia Masjid, which is the party to this case, strangely, they've come out to say that this mosque was built in the 15th century, at the beginning of the 15th century, after which, this was expanded upon by Akbar. The present day Western wall syncretic nature is because Akbar built it in the Din-e-Ilahi philosophy. Then Aurangzeb expanded on it further in the 17th century. There is an interesting facet of that ASI report, I'm sure both of you are aware of it, that there's a loose stone found with the inscription of when this mosque was built by Aurangzeb in the late 17th century and expanded in the 18th century, and that seems to have been scratched out. So leaving that aside, what do you make of this explanation or this theory that has come from the AIM that actually the mosque was first made in 15th century and even Akbar had played a role in it?
No, this is a complete bunkum. It's a lie of the worst order. And in fact, as part of my forthcoming book called Waiting for Shiva, Unearthing the Truth of Kashi's Gyanvapi, I reference this false claim that has been made not now, Shivani, but almost for 100 years now. In 1936-37, there was a case called the Deen Muhammad versus the state. It was a non-representative suit in as far as the Hindus were not made party to it. It was between the Muslim side and not even the masjid side, some individual Muslims who took the government of India, which was a British government, to court at that time. And during the very lengthy proceedings of that case, which I document in detail in my book, the same claims, just around the time that case was going on, there was a Muslim barrister called Farooqi who came out with this book, which was a hagiographical account of Aurangzeb, which kind of gave cover fire for all of this. They made this same claims that the Din-e-Ilahi Ibadat Khana was built by Akbar and so on. Now, in that judgment, which the judge, honorable judge at that time in British India had gone through all the records, and he said Akbar, there was no proof that Akbar had built any Ibadat Khana in any place other than Fatehpur Sikri. So not the least in Varanasi, not the least in this particular place. Then they tried to sabotage that proceedings by saying it was actually Dara Shiko's Sanskrit Pathshala, which was there, which also, the judge threw out of the window, because right from 1810, this place has been contested. And so the judge's contention to the Muslim side then in 1936 was in all the proceedings from 1810 to 1936, in the Muslim side representation, why have you not brought up the fact that it was Dara Shiko's Sanskrit school or it was Akbar's, whatever, this Ibadat Khana or any of that? And if you look at also cross-verify the traveler accounts, there was a French traveler called Jean-Baptiste Tavernier who came just a year before this Kashi Vishweshwar Mandir was demolished, and also in 1630s by this man called Peter Mundi. All these people document that there was a grand Bisheshwar temple at this spot. And in fact, Tavernier writes later that I visited this place. I think he wrote it after the demolition, but as a memoir of the past, he said, I had visited this grand temple which was demolished by Aurangzeb a year or so after I visited it. And all these people had also made drawings and sketches of people going and putting water on the shivling and the structures that were there in the Garbhagriha and all of this. So these were foreign travelers. They were not, some Hindutva people or whatever like that to make false claims. So I think this is subterfuge of the worst order, where you spin so many stories. First you say it was not even a mosque, it was an Ibadat Khana. Then you say it's a Sanskrit school. Then you say it was not demolished by Aurangzeb. Now that loose inscription that you spoke of, which was discovered, it clearly mentions that in the 20th regnal year of Aurangzeb, somewhere around 1677 or so, so about 10 years, that means after demolition. So the Masir-e-Alamgiri clearly documents on 2nd September 1669, the soldiers giving back the report to Aurangzeb that as per the Badshahi Farman, we have demolished the Kashi Vishwanath temple. And this inscription comes as a logical sequence to that, saying 10 years later, you had the mosque built at that spot. And the other one, which was, I think, 1792 or so, was when the repairs and reconstruction was made. And that was when the last line, which says this was done at the behest of the Mutwalli of the mosque, or the superintendent, that seems to have been erased. But in the ASI journal, the original inscription is there, which the ASI report also documents to show which was the last line that was sought to be removed. So I think there are certain facts of history which you can't make up in this manner. And I would really urge and hope that the masjid side doesn't stretch this argument so much and belittle and deny every honest claim that is made to them and make such fantastic foolish claims about all these things not even having been destroyed by Aurangzeb, when his own authorized biographer has mentioned it in the Masri Alamgiri. I don't think Aurangzeb needs cover fire from today's Anjuman Intezamia Masjid people.
I'll bring Vishnu on this in just a bit, but it's also very strange that in their response, they're also trying to spin it around by saying that how can you say there was a Hindu temple? They say that, Buddhism was also very prevalent as far as Varanasi is concerned. So it could have been something else. I find it very peculiar because it's almost like suggesting that if it was a Buddhist or a Jain temple, then the claim doesn't stand or somehow this fight will go away. What do you make of this particular insistence?
Exactly. So this is just a concoction of driven largely by the Marxist historians who I think inspired these people to make these crazy claims. So if it is a Buddhist claim, so why don't you give away the place to the Buddhist people, if not the Hindus? So it's anyway not your place. And as per Islamic law, you're not supposed to pray at a place which is captured from somebody at someone else's place and without that person's permission. And in this case, in all these British court reports itself, records and the adjudications that have come, it has been very clear that this was not registered as a Waqf property. Aurangzeb may have destroyed the temple, but then there was no farman to say in its place construct a mosque. So in effect, it is an illegal encroachment upon someone else's territory. So as per Islamic law itself, if prayer on this place is haram, then how are you going to actually justify that by making all these claims, whether it was Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, whatever else? It is certainly not a Muslim spot. And secondly, Shivani, I think this is, as I said, even a couple of weeks back, you had the so-called eminent historian, Professor Irfan Habib, again talking to a social media portal, saying again the same lies that he had peddled during the Ayodhya, he and his entire set of, bunch of students and others during the Ayodhya case. They lied through their teeth, as Professor Meenakshi Jain and others have documented, on the Vishnu Hari inscription that was found in the disputed structure on the day of the demolition on 6th December 1992. Then too, it was the same thing. The Muslim side was conciliatory at that time. They wanted to give it up because these are not some sacred spots for the Muslim side. Whereas for the Hindu side, it is Kashi, Mathura, Ayodhya. These are very, very preeminent, places. Even that time, they were willing to be conciliatory, but it was these bunch of Marxist historians who egged them on, saying, no, you have a strong case, we will, build the evidence for you. And then this Buddhist Jain business came about. So similarly, I saw just a couple of weeks back, Professor Habib going on social media channels, finally at least accepting that Aurangzeb destroyed a mosque, temple.
A temple,
so, at least that is not under dispute. But very curiously, he said, "Pata hi nahi ki wo Shivji ka mandir tha ya nahi." Now that again, it is really, very, very distressing that a man of his alleged eminence and age can lie at this stage of his life. Whereas I said the Masri Alamgiri itself talks of the temple of Bishnath, which was demolished. Now, and all these traveler accounts are there. So this open window that is given to say we don't know whether it was a Shivji ka mandir is to open the doors to all these other fantastic claims that it was a Jain temple or a Buddhist temple. And till now the Marxist historians have been inside their rat holes, luckily in this case, and not come out to egg the masjid side to make these claims. But I think that conspiracy is in the brewing. But this time it's an information age. It's not the 1990s where you can lie and get away. All of us have access to all the documents, all the records, and we'll catch your lie while you lie through your teeth, and so shamelessly.
I do want to go across to Vishnu also and get his response, particularly on this AIM response of a 15th century reference that has been made by them. Vishnu.
See, this theory that it was built in 15th century and it was built at the time of Aurangzeb is negated by the stone inscription, which is found in their own storeroom in the mosque. And if you will read the report of the ASI, and let me tell you the exact page number of the findings of the ASI, the stone inscription finding of the ASI is at page number 149 of the ASI report. This inscription goes to show that this mosque was built in 1676 and it was repaired in 1792. So let me tell you the Farman of Aurangzeb is of 2nd September 1669 of demolition. And after 7 years, this so-called mosque has been built. So this inscription was found in their own storeroom. This was partially demolished, damaged by them. And the original photograph of the inscription was with the Archaeological Survey of India, Nagpur. And this report contains the original photograph, the complete translation from Persian to English and Hindi. And apart from that, this structure, this stone inscription was found from their own storeroom, partially damaged. So this entire theory is negated and contradicted by the stone inscription which is found in the so-called mosque. And I also want to ask a question, that who demolished this stone inscription? From the time this mosque is within the possession of Anjuman Intezamia. In 1965, the ASI found the original stone inscription. Original photograph is there with the Archaeological Survey of India, Nagpur. In the meantime, from 1965 till 2023, who demolished and destroyed this stone inscription and why is a crucial question. And ASI has also done the dating exercise. In dating exercise, ASI has given a finding that this temple was demolished in 17th century and this mosque was built in 1676 as is mentioned in the stone inscription. So it is very, very clear. It is very, very clear that this entire theory of this Akbar and Babar is totally a false story, and everything is proved to the hilt by the Archaeological Survey of India report.
Well, actually, even the leftist historians don't deny it. But you're going to the Supreme Court wanting the Wazu Khana, where the supposed shivling has been found, to be part of the serving area, because that will be very key in establishing what you want to establish. Plus the cellars to be opened. As many as 10 has been found and 8 are sealed. Now, the shivling significance, we all understand why you would want that to come under ASI survey. But why the cellars particularly, and why now?
See, during the proceedings of the Archaeological Survey of India, it came to light that there are total 10 cellars in the disputed structure. And in these 10 cellars, I must tell you that 5 cellars are there on the northern side and 5 cellars are there on the southern side. In the GPR survey report, in one of the cellars on the southern side, a well has also been found in the GPR report. So it is very, very crucial that, and you know that well is so significant for a Hindu temple and for Gyanvapi, because well signifies the importance of this place. So it is very, very important that these other 8 cellars are opened and surveys carried out. These cellars are closed by artificial walls for this, for which a survey is required.
Now this, Vikram, I'm coming to you. The purported shivling that has been found. Now historically, is there any reference to such a large shivling in what is today's Wazu Khana?
So, Shivani, there is no historical reference to the size of the shivling in any of the scriptures. But there are contesting, I mean, there are 2 main shivlings which were there in that entire area. One was, of course, Vishweshwar. The other was another ling called Avimukteshwar. And, you know, even the Kashi Khand of the Skanda Puran says, while the entire world worships Vishweshwar, Vishweshwar worships Avimukteshwar, who is his guru. And even in the Kashi Khand, Bhagwan Shiv is supposed to describe the entire geography with about 14 main lingas, which are very, sacred in Kashi. Each corresponding, it's called the Lingatmak Swarup, where the physical structure of a person is mapped. So the eyes are one particular ling, the hands and legs and all, the navel is Madhyameshwar. So many such names are there. So in that, the 2 right hands are, mentioned as Avimukteshwar Mukteshwar and Vishweshwar, which are in close proximity to each other. So most likely, this is a conjecture that this ling, which is probably found in that Vazukhana, was the Avimukteshwar ling, which was part of the old temple. The original Jyotirling of Vishweshwar, one never knows. There are various stories. Some say the Brahmin priest removed it and got it, hid it in the Gyanvapi well, and that was the ling that was later reconsecrated by Maharani Ahilyabai Holkar. In a slightly, slight distance from the original main shrine. Now that also the site, why do we in the Hindu side, once a temple, always a temple, as they say, and the site becomes very important. The importance of the Sthala Mahatmya or the importance of the sacredness of that spot. So even at the heights of Islamic iconoclasm in the 16th century, you had Narayan Bhatt, the famous Maharashtrian Brahmin scholar of Sanskrit. In his seminal work called Tristhali Setu, he gives an advice to all the devout astikas. He says, during these very difficult times of the Dushta Mlechhadi Rajas, or the evil, Muslim rulers, the Shivling may have disappeared at certain times, but don't lose hope. Have faith. The very fact that your Mahadev was at that particular spot imbues that entire area with sacredness. And so even if there is no Shivling, go to the Ganga, get some water and pour water over that spot. If there are no soldiers doing surveillance, then you can put some flowers and whatever and do worship to the ground itself. And that is equivalent to actually doing puja to Mahadev, and have hope that one day that grand temple will come and Mahadev will be reconsecrated. So that's why this Sthala Mahatmya, or the importance of the spot is very much sacrosanct when it comes to the Hindu faith. So people may ask questions, why only that spot? You have the whole of Kashi, you built a new corridor, you have done this, that and the rest. That spot is important, and that is why every time the temple was demolished, it was demolished several waves of iconoclasm from 1194 by Qutubuddin Aibak, then Razia Sultan, then the Sharki Nawabs of Jaunpur, then Alauddin Khilji, Sikandar Lodi, and then finally Aurangzeb. Every time this temple was destroyed, the Hindus would build a smaller shrine very, very in close proximity to the original site, which is that maybe that entire area was imbued with that magnetic field of that original deity and its importance. And that is why that spot becomes important, and which is why the Hindus are reclaiming it, because as per the Hindu belief, once it has been consecrated as a temple, it is always a temple, irrespective of whether the deity is present or has been vandalized.
Right. I'm almost out of time. I do want to ask a parting shot to Vishnu. This ASI report is a big shot in your arm. Today's verdict is a big shot in your arm. But what do you see as the biggest hurdles for you still in this case?
The big hurdle which I foresee is the hurdle of a drama of secularism. A huge drama on the word secularism. That if this trial is allowed to go on, the secular fabric of the country will be destroyed. If this trial is allowed to go on, there will be so many disputed sides which will come to question. If this trial is allowed to go on, it will have a cascading effect on other disputed places. These are the things which I foresee. And I feel and I strongly believe that we have a very strong case on merits. And the only thing which we need is a day-to-day trial. And this matter is heard on its merits, despite these arguments of secularism, because no secularism principle will apply where a pre-existing Hindu temple has been demolished, where a Shivling is existing in the Vazu tank, which is yet to be investigated. Despite these clinching facts, if someone cries about secularism, I think they do not believe in the strength and merit of their case, and therefore they are trying to run away from the merits of this case.
So not the legality, but the politics is the biggest hurdle. I do thank both of you for your time. Completely out of time now on this edition. Taking your leave, the hard facts is coming up next.
Viewers, the comparisons are similar. The Gyanvapi row is following the arc of the Ayodhya dispute. In both cases, the ASI concluded that a temple existed under the mosques that were built in a welter of anti-Hindu fury. Both temples fell to the Mughal dynast's penchant for Hindu iconoclasm. Both were locked to keep Hindus out and prevent them from offering prayers. You know this. Today, viewers, another similarity has cemented itself into history. Just like in Ayodhya on February 1st, 1986, a local court had ordered the Babri locks to be opened. A court today, viewers, in Varanasi, has granted rights to the Hindu side to offer prayers in the Vyas Tehkana on the southern side of the Gyanvapi mosque. The locks have been opened. The basement shrine was locked by the Mulayam Singh Yadav government. The UP administration in 1993 without any court order to back the move. Can you believe it, viewers? It was completely an arbitrary move. The decision to lock out Hindu astics could only have been a cynical ploy to appease Muslim sentiments, at least at that time, viewers. Remember, the Samajwadi Party, of which Mulayam Singh was a supremo, counted unabashedly on Muslim support to be elected and stay in power. It didn't help matters, viewers, that at that time the Congress was also in the center, playing this game of appeasement, upmanship. Viewers, luckily, however, today the court agreed with the Hindu side, led by Vishnu Shankar Jain and his father Hari Shankar Jain, who were able to prove that the Tehkana was used by the Vyas family for generations to offer prayers. There are records, viewers, right up till 1993 of pujas being performed daily. After that, viewers, the Hindu side was told that you can only come on significant days of the Hindu calendar. The court has now told the district magistrate to make arrangements for the prayers to be offered within 7 days and also ensure that there is no clash with Muslim worshippers. Let me just walk you through some of what the court has said in its order justifying the decision to open the locks of the Gyanvapi mosque. The court said there was regular worship in basements situated in the southern part of the structure. After December 1993, Shri Vyasji was barred from entering the barricaded area and worship stopped. The state government and district administration stopped puja in December 1993 without any legal backing. Absolute arbitrariness, viewers. Evidence that on hereditary basis, priest Vyasji worshipped there during British rule till December 1993. His entire family, viewers, was invested in offering oblations. Ancient sculptures and religious artifacts present in the basement area also testified to the sanctity of this particular spot. Kashi Vishwanath Temple Trust was ordered to make arrangements for prayers, viewers, and hopefully now they will resume. There has always been a question mark over the decision to lock out Hindus, primarily because there was proof that the Tehkana was in constant possession of the Hindu side. It's not just the affidavits, viewers, the testimonials, but the entire mosque, viewers, stands on the Visheshwar temple. The family started living in the complex in 1883. There is absolute historical evidence to prove this. Regular puja halted post Babri demolition. Biannual recitation of holy texts were allowed. That also, viewers, was not the norm. There's also the irrefutable testimony of many devotees and of course of even British East India Company chroniclers that date as far back as 1632. Let me read out one of those accounts. British writers account from 1632 of prayers at the temple. Writings highlight women pouring libations over a lingam Maybe it was the one, viewers, that has been identified as such in the Wazukhana. Who knows? This same Britain describes great and high spires belonging to Hindu churches in his words, viewers. Describes devotees drawn by reverence to the river Ganges, provides sketches of Hindu worship at the site, and you can see that lingam in those photographs, viewers, in those sketches, and the women who are pouring oblations. The proof and the order is once again been dismissed by the Muslim side. Lawyers for the Gyanvapi Mosque Trust have announced that they will contest the Varanasi court's order in the High Court. Of course, viewers, they have all rights to do this. But nonetheless, listen in.
अंजुमन इंतजामिया मस्जिद उस ऑर्डर के खिलाफ ऑनरेबल हाई कोर्ट जाएगी फॉर अर्लीस्ट। उन्होंने ऑर्डर ये किया है कि उनका कहना है कि जो वापस विवादी संपत्ति है जो मस्जिद का नीचे दक्षिणी तहखाना है उसके अंदर जो उनका कहना है कि जो मूर्तियां हैं उसमें उसकी पूजा पाठ के लिए डीएम साहब जो तो कोई इंतजाम कराएं, जबकि उसके अंदर कोई मूर्ति नहीं है। और जो रिपोर्ट अभी आई एसआई की उसमें भी कहीं नहीं लिखा हुआ है कि दक्षिणी तहखाने में कोई मूर्ति पाई गई है।
Viewers, let's open this up. Let's ask some basic questions. These obstacles are falling because they are hollow. They are hollow, they have no substance, they have no legal tenability. The question is then, why were they